Hi everyone and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to do the intimidating TBR tag, and I was asked to do this by a booktuber in my comments of my first video, so I thought I would do it as my TBR is definitely intimidating. I've not counted it in a while, but it's spreading over like 3 shelves now, which is ridiculous, and my actual read books are only on like a shelf, so I definitely feel like my TBR shelf is intimidating, and I'm going to call that out and say I need to read some more books. So the first question in this tag is talk about a book you have yet to finish. Now I have 2 books for this particular question, and that is Rosebud by A.G. Howard and Wicked Like Wildfire by Liana Popovic. So I have yet to finish both of these books. I've been reading them for like 8 months, 9 months, and I really need to finish these. I just got wrapped up in uni and not finished them. I don't even remember hugely the plot lines. I think once I get back into them I will. But yeah, I really need to read these and I'm yet to read them. I don't know if I will, but I really want to finish them because then it'll be another 2 books on my TBR, and I don't mind DNFing books, but when I was enjoying them to begin with, then I feel bad for DNFing them. So I feel like eventually I will get around to them. I'm just not feeling it at the moment, but yeah, these are 2 that I'm yet to finish. And the rest of the questions in this tag are name a book that you have yet to read because. So the second question is name a book you have yet to read because you haven't had the time. And for this question I chose The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I really need to read this book. I just feel like I bought this book right at the beginning of my channel, everyone was talking about it, but it's just so long and I feel like I just have never felt like I've had the time to fully dedicate to it. I know it's going to take me a while and there's so many more books that I want to read. I feel like I want to read those first. I guess there's only like 500 pages in this book, which means it is quite big. It could be worse, but yeah, this is a book I feel like I haven't really had the time to fully dedicate the time to yet. And the next one is name a book that you haven't read because it is a sequel. Now I don't really know if the book that I've chosen particularly goes for this question, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. We got this in, I believe, an Owl Crate box, and it is just beautiful. The cover's beautiful, the illustrations and the inside is beautiful, but I want to read it after reading all of the books in the Grishaverse, so I need to finish off the Shadow and Bone series and then 6 of Crows series. So yeah, I need to finish those before I can read this. I don't know if I have to, but I want to, but I'm desperate to read this book, but I just can't yet. And I really want to get around to reading it. And the next question is you have yet to get to this book because it is brand new. Now I don't have many books that are brand new, like really new, that I haven't read yet. The majority of the books that I've been buying, like that because they've just come out, I have read. So the newest book that I own that I haven't read yet is The Hazelwood by Marissa Albert, and I think this came out in like January or something. I'm not sure, maybe February, but yeah, I'm yet to read this one. I do want to read it, but I just haven't like had the time yet. But yeah, this is the newest book that I own that I haven't read yet. And the next question is you have yet to read this book because you read another book by this author and didn't enjoy it. For this question I am going to say Cinder by Marissa Meyer. So I read Heartless by Marissa Meyer like back way in the beginning of my channel, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the romance like triangle, like the love triangle going on. It was just, I didn't like the main character. It was just whiny. I just did not enjoy the book like at all, so I've just found myself not wanting to pick up the Lunar Chronicles because yeah, I didn't like Heartless, and so I'm yet to pick this one up, and I've owned this one for like such a long time that I do need to read it. But yeah, I'm just apprehensive to read it because I didn't like Heartless. And the next one is you haven't read this book yet because you haven't been in the mood. I feel like there's a few different books that I could pick for this because it's not quite summer yet, and I read contemporaries in the summer, but we've now gone past winter, so I can't read like wintry books. So the book that I chose for this question is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. So because we are now not in winter. I feel like I can't really read this book. I feel like it would be best to read when it's cold, and we're now having loads of sunny days. I did buy this at Christmas, but then I had exams and then loads of coursework and things, and I just never got round to reading it, unfortunately. So potentially I'm gonna have to wait until Christmas again, or I could read it in the summer and just read it. But yeah, I feel like it would be better when it is cold, because I feel like it's supposed to be like a wintry read. So yeah, I'm yet to read this one because I haven't been in the mood. And the next one is, you haven't read this book yet because it is humongous. And the book that I have chosen for this, and I could have chosen a few, but the one that I chose is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. And this book is pretty big, to be honest with you. It is like 530 pages, and yeah, I just feel like I'm not going to read it soon because it's so massive. I think me and Jade from JD Ray Reads might do a buddy read on this, and I think that would possibly be the best way for me to read it and actually stick to reading it, because it is so big. I feel like where I'm just getting back into reading in the summer now, that I'm going for books that are shorter, so I think this one's like quite intimidating, to be honest. I could listen to it on audiobook, but I do want to read it physically, and I love the sprayed edges, and yeah, I really want to read it, but it just looks so big. So yeah, hopefully I can get to this one soon. And the next one is, you've yet to read this book and you bought this book because of a cover buy, but it turned out to have bad reviews. So I've picked up both of these for this one, and that is The Magicians and the Magician King by Lev Grossman. So I think the covers for both of these are beautiful, and it actually says on The Magician King that it's Harry Potter for grown-ups, says by The Guardian. So yeah, I really wanted to pick up both of these and read them because I was like, oh my god, Harry Potter for adults, like I can't find a better book than that, to be honest. But I then read the reviews on Goodreads, and quite a lot of people don't like it. They find the main character quite like depressive and just angry and just negative all of the time, so they just didn't really like it. They said it's not as Harry Pottery as you're hoping. So yeah, I'm yet to read them because of the reviews, to be honest. I think I would have read them a lot sooner otherwise, but the covers are just so beautiful. The Magician King is like the favourite cover that I own. I just love the colours, just love how it looks. I love autumn, and then the Magicians equally looks just as good and mystical. Hopefully I can get to these soon and just put the bad reviews behind me, but yeah, a bit disappointing. And the last question is, what is the most intimidating book on your TBR? So I'm going to choose a book from the ones that I've picked out, I guess. So I'm going to pick The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and yeah, because it's so big, I think it's just so intimidating, but I do really want to read it. So yeah, I think this is the most intimidating, but hopefully I can get to it soon, and Jade will kindly buddy read this with me. Thank you so much for watching this book tag, and I am going to actually tag a few people. I'm going to tag Jade from JD Ray Reads and Bex from Bex and Books, because I would love to see what books that they have on their shelves that they find intimidating. I think this is a really good tag, and it actually kind of helps you pick out books that you find are a bit scary and maybe actually push yourself to read them as well. So yeah, if you want to do this tag, then feel free to do that, and I shall see you guys in another video. Bye guys!